Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a happy new year. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Sonic CD, a classic platformer by Sega. I've already reviewed both the Sonic Genesis trilogy and both episodes of Sonic the Hedgehog 4 on this channel, so it's only natural that I would eventually take a look at this game too. Probably the most famous game released for the ill-fated Sega CD, does it live up to the hype? Before I dive into that, let's take a brief look at the history of the Sega CD itself. In 1988, Sega released the Mega Drive in Japan, later known as the Genesis here in the States. It held a clear technological advantage over the then-aging Famicom, known as the Nintendo Entertainment System here in America, which had released 5 years earlier and was the primary threat to anyone looking to enter the video game console market at that time. Fast forward to 1990, and Nintendo released the Super Famicom, later known as the Super Nintendo Entertainment System here in America. Capable of larger and more numerous sprites, possessing a larger color palette, and with a better sound chip, the SNES took away almost every hardware advantage that the Genesis had. But Sega was already hard at work on what they believed to be an ace up their sleeve, the Sega CD, or Mega CD for those of you outside of the US. If Sega were to release an entirely new console to replace the Mega Drive, which was only about 3 years old when the Sega CD released, it certainly wouldn't instill any confidence that they were going to support their consoles going forward. So instead, they came up with a solution that would supplement it rather than replace it. The Mega CD wasn't an entirely new console, but rather an add-on that would attach to the already existing Mega Drive and enhance it. Not only did the CDs allow for far more data than the cartridges of the time, but the Sega CD itself even enhanced the hardware of the Genesis. However, there was a major drawback to this plan. When the Sega Genesis first released, it had an MSRP of $189. However, the Sega CD, which I will reiterate, required you to already have a Genesis to use it, costs a whopping $300. Between the cost of both and taxes, you're looking at over a $500 price tag. Nevertheless, the new machine did need a killer app to push it. With the overwhelming success that Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 had brought the Genesis, it was only natural that Sega would also want to bring their new mascot to the Sega CD as well. Thus, Sonic CD was born. Released in Japan in September of 1993, and then hitting Europe in October and America in November, Sonic CD was the third major title in the series, releasing about a year after Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you're already familiar with the basics of classic Sonic, then most of CD will sound familiar to you. It's a level-based platformer where you can collect rings to protect yourself. If you get hit by an enemy while you have at least one ring, you'll survive, but lose all of your rings in the process. If you're hit without rings, you'll lose a life and go back to the last checkpoint you passed. Simply run through each stage and reach the goalpost to beat the level. Along the way, you'll have item boxes just like in previous Sonic titles. Hit them to open them and collect 10 rings, get a speed boost, obtain a 1-up, a short period of invincibility, or a shield which will absorb one hit without causing you to lose your rings. Every third level will be much shorter, but ends in a boss fight. So far, nothing out of the ordinary. But there was one major feature of Sonic CD that did set it apart from all other games in the series: time travel. As you run through the stages, you'll be able to pass through signposts labeled past or future. Once you pass one, if you manage to build and maintain speed, you'll jump to the appropriate time period. If you start the time jump and then break your speed, you'll lose the opportunity.
Hey Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
This changes the stage's aesthetics as well as its layout. What's more, there's actually 2 different versions of each future stage, a good and a bad one. If you don't do anything special, you'll end up in the bad future where Dr. Robotnik has had his way with the area. To get the good future, there's 2 different ways you can go about it. Your first option is to explore the past in each level to find and destroy these pods that Robotnik has used to create his robots. There's 1 in each stage. Destroy it in the past, and if you head to the future in the same stage, you'll get the good future. There's no robot pods in the boss stages, but they always automatically take place in the future. Destroy both pods in the previous 2 stages, and it'll be the good future. Otherwise, you'll get the bad future. The other method to get a good future is to collect the time stones. Much like the original Sonic the Hedgehog, if you complete a non-boss stage with 50 rings, then a giant ring will appear at the end of the level. Jump in and you'll be taken to a special stage. It just wouldn't be a classic Sonic title without them, right? This time around, you'll have these 3D maps where you're constantly running forward. You can freely change direction as well as jump. Your goal is to destroy all of these UFOs before time runs out by jumping into them, but if you land in the water at any point, you'll lose 10 seconds from your time. However, once your time runs below 20 seconds, you'll see another UFO appear. This one will not count towards stage completion, but it will give you an extra 30 seconds if you destroy it, and you can do this repeatedly if you need to. All in all, the special stages aren't bad. The physics feel much more intuitive than those of Sonic 1, and unlike Sonic 2, you can always see what's up ahead. Complete a special stage successfully and you'll get a time stone. Collect all 7 time stones and all jumps to the future will take you to the good future for the rest of the game. Then we have presentation. Graphically, the game isn't bad, sprites are fluidly animated and there's some interesting set pieces. I've never really been fond of Sonic music, but those who are often praise this as one of the best soundtracks in the series, or perhaps 2 of the best soundtracks. It's important to note that the original American release of the game had a different soundtrack from the rest of the world, although if you play through the modern PC version of the game, you can choose whichever you prefer wherever you may live. Story is about what you'd expect from a 90s platformer. A moon known as Little Planet has passed by which houses the Time Stones. In order to take these stones and use them for his nefarious purposes, Dr. Robotnik has tethered Little Planet with a giant chain, yes, you heard me right, and is once again causing havoc. This is also Amy Rose's first appearance in the series, and Metal Sonic kidnaps her, so Sonic has to save her in the process as well. If you're still expecting story from a 90s Sonic game, I really don't know what to tell you at this point. If you manage to collect all the time stones, or destroy all robot pods in the game, you'll get a slightly different post-credits scene, but much like Sonic 1, it's really not worth the effort. But on one final note for presentation, I do have to bring up the opening and closing cutscenes done by the famed Toei Animation. Even casual anime fans like myself are pretty familiar with the name. There's only 2 cutscenes in total, one for the opening and one for the ending, but they really do capture the essence and feel of a Sonic game. Perhaps even more than the game itself does. They're fast-paced, vibrant, and still look great, especially if you're watching the HD versions, as they remastered and upscaled them from the original animation rather than using the compressed versions originally on the Sega CD. So how well does it all work out? Let's be honest, level design is a complete mess. It feels like terrains and traps were kind of just thrown together haphazardly with no real thought put into it. It's hard to show with these little clips, but it really does feel awkward to play through these levels. Apparently, the designers wanted to place a greater emphasis on exploration this time around, especially with the robot pods hidden in the past, but it feels like the game works against this. You still have the 10-minute time limit like in other classic Sonic games, and beyond that, stage design often makes backtracking difficult or even outright impossible. And on top of that, getting time travel to work is finicky at best. Even if you do manage to get in the past, you really have no way of knowing where the robot pod will even be. Again, the timer really makes it difficult to fully scour the levels, and the clumsy stage design certainly doesn't make me want to do such in the first place. Boss fights are laughably easy, and honestly, some of the blandest in the entire series. If you've seen my previous Sonic reviews, you know I'm a fan of the classic games. However, this one simply does not live up to the same standard of quality as the main trilogy. I first experienced Sonic CD back in 2005 through the Sonic Gems collection on Nintendo GameCube. After how much it had been hyped up in gaming magazines at the time, I was really let down by it. If Sonic CD had been my first Sonic game, I'm honestly not sure if I would have played a second. Compared to its contemporaries, it just doesn't hold up. In conclusion, I feel I must give Sonic CD a lacking 5.8 out of 10. Sonic CD is currently available for PC via Steam or Windows Xbox Arcade. Alternatively, it's also available for both Android and iOS devices, but I highly recommend avoiding those unless you have a controller to use with your phone. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Sonic CD? Which games do you believe are overhyped? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you really enjoy my work, please consider funding me on Patreon, and don't forget that my crosscode giveaway is still ongoing. Be sure to enter that if you haven't already. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.